Virgo, this is a challenging month for you. I'm not going to mince words, with some big changes. But where there's change, there's an opportunity for growth, and you've got it this month. Hi, I'm Finn, and this is Magic 7 Tarot. I have done a Magic 7 spread for you already and had a chance to consider it. And uh, let me be clear, there's a change going on in your life. And a lot of this seems to revolve around your work environment or employment. Um, Not so much money, but employment, and certainly your relationship with authority. So let's go through it, and then we'll pull a couple of cards and have a look. So this is your new moon reading for the period March 12th and a month after that. What I do is a reading every month for you. That coincides with your personal new moon. So this will be valid whether your sun, moon, or rising sign are in Virgo, but obviously those would be different expressions. Let's have a look in the past. In the past, we have the Four of Scepters reversed. Now, I use the Brotherhood of Light Tarot, Egyptian Tarot, and a reverse card does not necessarily mean a negative influence. It just means that it's a bit less flowy. What's the word I'm looking for? It takes a bit of time to express, or it's stunted, or sluggish. Now, this is in the past position. It seems to me that in the past, the recent past, you've been humbled. Okay, and it really does have to do with the influence of authority. And so I'm going to talk about this as if it was work. Obviously, it's a general reading, and so not all of you are going to have a problem at work. Some of you are retired, some of you are students, some of you are self-employed. Okay, so but the thing that overwhelmingly comes through here is change, and the second thing that overwhelmingly comes through is this kind of relationship to authority or authority figures, the law, government, and so forth. The boss. You know that there's a song by the band The Who, "Meet the New Boss, Same as the Old Boss," right? So that song kind of feels like this for me. So not to say that there are challenges here and change, but that doesn't mean it's negative. Okay, so the Four of Scepters, relationship to authority, being humbled, certainly tension around business, and uh, this influence of authority is really powerful here. So maybe in the past you've taken the initiative and it's not being recognized, or you've taken the initiative and someone else is taking credit for it. And so uh, sometimes Virgo is very expressive and can be critical, and sometimes they're a bit silent. So it feels to me that you've kind of eaten something in the past, and not physically eaten it, but you've had to swallow back your critique, and it might have been better just to speak up at the moment, And so uh, you're feeling humbled, you're feeling tension, you're feeling that you're being bossed around on some level. Now, could that be this a part of yourself that's questioning you? It could be, but it does seem to me that it's something in the environment. Um, you're very good at something. Virgo are incredibly proficient, and when when you're good at something and then someone criticizes you, it hurts twice as much, maybe 10 times as much. I'm not saying your feelings are hurt, because it's not really a feeling card. More like you're, how would we say it politely, ticked off. Okay? You're ticked off in relationship to business, work, and authority. And are you mad as heck and you're not going to take it anymore? Maybe a little bit of that as well. In the present, we have the Five of Swords reversed. Five of Swords is, it's hard work, uh, but it's also struggle, right? Struggling through the work. So let's say you've been criticized in the past, but you still have to persist. That makes the work even harder. Or, a bunch of people have been laid off around you, and now you've got to pick up the slack. It certainly could be something like that. And um, it does have to be with your possessions. Does it have to do with your possessions or quarrels around possessions? Certainly, this is an argumentative card. Um, it it is uh, it does have, it's the Virgo decadent of um, Taurus. You can see, so analytical, financial worry. Well, you might be worried about money. Where's your money coming from? If you're having these quarrels at work, difficulties at work, if people are being laid off and you're having to pick up the slack, now you're doing all this extra work for no extra compensation, I would expect. And do you fear for your own employment? If you're self-employed, this could be the uh, imposition of I know there's a lot of talk about tariffs, so you might have to be pivoting your business now to try to like anticipate some kind of change in the environment, and that's very challenging. Hard work. It's like you're working really hard, but you're not getting anywhere. You're treading water. That's the image that comes to me. They say, when someone's drowning, right, they say not to struggle against it, right? Like, and not that you're drowning, but what I'm suggesting is if struggle exists, one can distance oneself from the struggle and simply put your head down and get some work done. Do what you have to do. Okay. If you're expressing, oh, I'm really irritated and this is unfair, which it seemingly is unfair. I mean, it seems to me you're the victim of some kind of power trip, and but struggling against the struggle is not going to make it better, right? You want to try to uh, at least distance yourself emotionally from it and see it as something that's temporary. It is temporary. I mean, you're not going to take it. Okay, that's what it really boils down to. I don't know how this is going to progress for each of you, obviously. But the energy here suggests, these business tensions and feeling humbled in the face of authority, even though you've taken extra effort and initiative. And now you've got all these worries and quarrels and struggles, and you're working hard, maybe harder. So, whatever that is, it's going to change. And it changes in the immediate future. In the immediate future, we have card 13, which is the Reaper in the Brotherhood of Light Tarot, also known as the Death card. Now, before you get freaking out, death does not mean death in the tarot. Okay, despite every movie you've ever seen with tarot cards in it, the death is not death. In fact, it's Arcanum 13 is an incredibly potent card. It represents Aries energy, and it represents beginnings and endings. Okay, uh, there's the Reaper is sowing something here, but then there's this rainbow above. Okay, sometimes when you're in a bad situation, change is exactly the remedy that's required. uh, it's dramatic change. Okay, a change could be rising above it, or it could be leaving it behind altogether. Take this job and finish my sentence. Okay, it definitely could be that. Okay, I've had it, I'm leaving, that's it. Okay, um, there's strife. Even if you have to make a giant change, this to me seems like change is not thrust upon you, but that you initiate the change yourself. Or you just get so tired of this situation that you say, well, that's it. It could only be better if I did something different. Okay? It's an end and it's a beginning. Okay? I, I to be honest with you, when I see the Reaper in a spread, I always think it's a positive thing. There's a quote from the psychologist Carl Jung. He once said, when people would come in and say, "Oh, I got a raise at work," he'd be like, "Oh, okay." And then, if someone came in and said, "I got fired from my job," he'd say, "Oh, let's open a bottle of wine. Now, something interesting is going to happen." So, if you've been struggling and not being recognized for your work and kind of had to, you know, toe the line, as it were, or suck up to someone, despite you being the expert. I mean, Virgos are incredibly competent people, right? I'd hire a Virgo like that to get work done, right? They're precise, they're hardworking, they're calm, they don't bring a lot of drama to this situation. So, uh, you're going to be okay. Something's going to change, and it's going to be okay. But it's an upheaval. Even the best change feels like an upheaval. Okay. Okay, so in this reading, the fourth card is the part that you can control, and it's the Ace of Swords reversed. The Ace of Swords is, considered a pretty negative card. But in this position, I love it because what it's saying to me is that, I mean, it's struggle. It could be some bad news. It could be depression, negative thinking. Let's call it negative thinking, no matter what the expression is. But you could control this. Okay, so I'm asking you, I'm imploring you, in the face of great change, do not be depressed. Okay, change is going to happen. Change is happening. Okay, do not hold on to the past. It wasn't feeding you. It was causing you anxiety and strife and bad vibes, right? So let go of anything that's getting in your way, in your mind. I mean, let go of the mental blocks that block you from embracing the transformation that's afoot. The more you can manage this card. I mean, it's reversed. Doesn't mean it's more negative. It might be harder to manage. Okay, depression isn't something like, it's an emotional state. It's not a thing, right? It's a series of things that connect to other things in us that make us feel a certain way or react a certain way. If you're angry, it's not anger. It's like repressed irritation or, held back. Don't take it out on yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay? Uh, if you have to go, you know, find an expression for this, go for a long walk. you know, Clean your closet, right? Find a way to organize yourself. Organization. This is a positive, positive. So if something's changing, being organized is a great approach. Okay, so it's been a tough reading already. Okay, and there's a couple of mitigating aspects here that make me feel that you're just going to be fine. I think that you're going to be happier. Frankly, happiness is not indicated here. The change is indicated, but the sorrow, the difficulties of the past leading to the change, leads me to believe that you're going to be happier. This is the environment. The Seven of Swords reversed. Sorry, the Seven of Wands reversed. Scepters, they call it in the Brotherhood of Light deck. So this is a very positive card, right? It's like suggesting to the environment, to saying what the environment is providing is the opportunity to aim higher, to set your ideals beyond where you've been, and look for something better. Okay, to rely on your own judgment and not the judgment of others. I mean, I think you've really had to endure some criticism, and I know that when that happens to me, I'm not very good with that. I have a couple of planets in Virgo, and uh, you devote yes, uh, be devoted to your own aims. Okay, it seems to me here that you have been devoted to some other situation that isn't looking out for you. They're not valuing you, so you have to value your own ideals, your own aims. You have to devote yourself to the things you really want in life. And this is a positive business card. So does it mean there'll be another job around the corner? Does it mean I don't see that exactly? Okay, although this could represent a dramatic change in moving from one thing into another for sure. But what it's saying is that the environment itself, uh, you have benevolence surrounding you. Like, there's people believe you. Okay, if you're going to say, man, I had this terrible experience at work and they're really treating me poorly, uh, the people around you, your family, your friends, even your coworkers or former coworkers, are certainly going to be like, "Yeah, we know. How have you how have you been staying there all this time with all this stuff going on?" I'm trying to keep my language very polite, but there's tension here, and when there's tension, there could be explosiveness, and so I'm asking you to, instead of finding a destructive expression of this energy, I think you have to aim for the highest ideals, the things you really believe in life. And this is your opportunity to embody those beliefs. And the environment is supporting that outlook. So, what opposes you is the Queen of Scepters reversed. Now, in the Brotherhood of Light Tarot, court cards are people. They could be a part of yourself. I sort of think this is a person. If it's upright, it's a female. If it's reversed, it's a male. Pardon me. So, I mean, could be the will of other people. This could be the boss, right, coming down on you. It also could be your own pride that's getting in the way of letting go. Because when transformation happens, excuse me again. When transformation happens, um, it's easy to sort of say, well, I'm not going to go with that. I want this old situation to change. I'm not just going to walk away. I have too much pride. I worked here for 10 years and I've devoted something, so I deserve something. I'm going to will this. Okay. It could definitely be the will of someone else being imposed upon you. That's kind of how I read it to begin with. I do these readings a couple of hours ahead of time before I set up my lights and so forth. It gives me time to really meditate on the details. And that's why, I'm kind of coming out with a real story through this that has to do with work and employment. I mean, the cards indicate that. The energies are energies, they have an infinite expression based on where the planets are in your chart and so on. So if this doesn't resonate with you, I'd be curious, in the comments, what happened this month that you could say is analogous to that. That would help me. Um, I'm just new at doing this channel. This is the first Virgo reading I've done. I'm not new at reading tarot or being a counselor, but I felt called. I had a big change in my life this year, and I felt called to sort of bring these skills to the public. And there's so much upheaval in the world right now and negative thinking that, for me, the solution was to add some positive energy to it. So, but if this doesn't resonate with you, I want to hear, well, what was happening in your life that, you know, maybe a different expression of these cards. Okay. Don't let pride stand in the way of a great change. I'm going to say it that way. Don't let the will of someone else supersede your own intentions. Okay? Your high ideals are supported in the environment by the benevolence of others. And when you're devoted to your ideals, this is not going to have the power over you. Okay? Especially if you can control your negative thinking on the circumstance. A great change can be great. I mean, you're going to feel some kind of relief. It's not, it might not be happy, you might be relieved that, you're not having to deal with this energy anymore, but it creates a new situation that you got to also manage. Okay. Change is always challenging. Okay. It doesn't mean it's negative or positive in either way. It's probably both. Right? Most things are always both. Okay, and how does this spread resolve? It resolves with another court card, this time the Queen of Coins reversed. Queen of Coins reversed would mean a man. So don't be gullible, Virgo. Okay? Someone will try to impose their will upon you. Okay? They're working you to the bone. and they don't really care. So I don't want a direct confrontation. This is more like mediation, right? You can confront the situation with your will and say, I demand this. Okay. Or you can make up your mind and say, this is over. It's over. So I want to, I want some compensation for the work I've done. And so I'm going to go to mediation to get that. I'm not going to burst into the office and throw things off on the floor and stuff, knock my computer off the desk. I'm sure you feel that way a little bit. And I'm sorry about that. You deserve better. That's what this says to me. However, you've been treated in whatever situation, you deserve better. Now, uh, maybe you have a belligerent boss, or maybe there's just a part of yourself that doesn't want to give up. I'm not saying give up. I'm just saying take take the high road. Okay? Once you make up your mind, don't have a confrontation about it. Okay, be smart about it. This is a very challenging reading, Virgo. Okay, one of the things you're going to learn about me is that I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. Okay, I'm not a fortune teller. What I do is I'm like do the emotional weather report. Okay, I'm reading these energies. They're present for you at your new moon, and I'm trying to suggest ways to manage those energies for the best outcome for you. It's going to be hard, but it's been harder. It's been harder. So it's going to get better, but I mean, it doesn't mean easy. And you've been going through a lot. So I hope that you get some relief from this. Let's pull a couple of oracle cards. This big rock, this big piece of quartzite, it's from a very special place for me. I have rocks on everything around here. Um, you could use some rock medicine yourself, right? Do you have a rock that you hold on to? Not throw through a window of your boss, right? Something you hold on to just to feel grounded. Getting a walk in nature is another great way of doing that. Getting lots of sleep, eating well. Okay. These are the wild unknown archetype cards. So let's pull an archetype card and see what archetype we could drop in for you this month that'll help you. Eternal Spirit, what can we give Virgo in terms of an archetype to help them navigate this challenging month ahead with all of this change, tension, difficulties? Desire to know the truth. I shuffle the cards, I cut them into 3 piles, and I do that 3 times. That's my process. If one pops out, I put it back in. I always think that I'm not focused. A desire to know the truth for Virgo. What can we give Virgo to help them manage this situation so it's the best for themselves, for the world, and for the universe? I desire to know the truth. Eternal Spirit, the truth for Virgo this month. Desire to know the truth. I couldn't read this with all of these cards are kind of go in all directions here. So which direction did I pull it is tricky. This is Aletheia. I don't know what that means. I'm going to have to look that one up. But when I look at it, I see both light and dark, and I see the dark in the light and the light in the dark, like the yin yang. Okay. So definitively, in every difficult situation, there's the seed, the kernel of a solution, a remedy. Okay. And there are gems here as well. Oh, these are roses. The black rose and the white rose. Okay, let's look it up and read it. I read them anyway, but sometimes if it's something I have a direct experience of, I'm able to offer something ahead of reading about it. Now these are one of the later ones here. If you're interested in doing your own tarot readings, this is an amazing book, amazing set of cards. It's almost the last card in the deck. Here's what it says. Oh, truth. It means truth. Our soul recognizes the truth when someone speaks it. A cool wave of relief washes over the room, and all the facts and figures in the world fall by the wayside, such is the power of aletheia. It has an undeniable resonance that goes beyond the rational. We can also recognize aletheia by its contagiousness. When we hear someone speak the truth, we see the truth within ourselves and are more likely to tell our own story. The aletheia card requires us to step towards an act of truth. This might look like a conversation, a gesture, a poetic act, or a ritual that honors the unveiling of what's been concealed, reclaiming what's been concealed, reclaiming your own truth. Is a way to reclaim your vital energy, health, and sense of belonging in the world. Truth has its own wings. Set it free. Clarity, revelation, or disclosure. When I think of Aries, Aries hates lies. It wants the truth. It wants the truth of the situation. Okay? And this card is like the truth. Boom. Here's the truth of the situation. You've been struggling somewhat silently, I would say, with a situation, with an individual getting in your face, that boss, or some other authority figure. And this card is asking you to accept your own truth. What is your truth? And this literally means relying on your own judgment. Okay? So go deep, Virgo. Find your own truth. Find your path through this. And that's a meditation for you. What's the truth of the situation? When I was shuffling the cards, I'm always asking for the truth. They say that what's that saying? The truth will set you free, but first it'll make you miserable. It's a bit like that. The truth is going to set you free here. You've been mistreated. People aren't valuing you. That's really coming through for me. Again, if that doesn't resonate for you, I'd love to hear how your month progressed. Okay, let's do one more card. These are the Sacred Destiny Oracle cards, and let's find some inspiration. This is pretty heavy reading, I know. I'll check in with you in a couple of weeks. We'll do a couple of cards in a couple of weeks at your personal full moon and see where we're at. Eternal Spirit, what inspiration can we offer to Virgo today to help them through this transformation? When I see, the Reaper, it's not necessarily end. It's like transforming. It's an end and a beginning. That's what that means. Eternal Spirit, inspiration for Virgo today. I desire to know the truth. If you like what I'm doing, and this does resonate for you, or part of it does, I'd appreciate it if you like or subscribe or make a comment. Follow me. I'll be doing readings every month for you. And some other peripheral content to teach astrology and so you get the most of this. Inspiration for Virgo, a desire to know the truth. Diligence. Virgo, you have to stay with your ideals here, okay? And it's going to be a struggle, and you might be feeling bummed out about it, okay? But if you work diligently towards you want, not confront the situation head on, but find a way to confront it intelligently, non-confrontational confrontation. I don't know what that means. Diligence. What's the card have on? There's a bird flying high. Let's just read what the representation. All these books have little gems in, I find, that connect. There are times in life to step forward and take risks, but there are other times to be patient, step carefully and slowly, and know that the benefits you will gain in the future will be worth it. Be attentive, meticulous, and persistent. Use this time to plan for action steps in the future. Be diligent and consistent at each step as you move forward. By doing so, you will harvest remarkable results in the years ahead. This is not the time for instant gratification. Your diligence will pay off in the future tenfold. This is a time for deliberate organization. Organization. Your diligence will pay off in the future. Oh, yes. Clean house, it said. Didn't I say something like that? Clear clutter out of your life. Be thoughtful about how you spend your time. Be discerning with whom you choose to spend it with. Clear out relationships that do not support you. This does not support you. These authority figures are not supporting you. They're not on your side. Clear them out. Transform. Be organized. Know that the environment supports you. Okay? Virgo, I love you so much. Thanks for coming today. I really appreciate you watching this video, and I wish you the greatest success ever. I know that change can be hard, but I think it's change for the better. Peace to you. See you again.